Hello, this is Evan. We're back for another installment of our LMS Showdown of 2015, where we're taking a look at the learning management systems that are available for Iowa teachers. As a reminder from our last episodes, we talked about how AEA PD Online is a service provided by the AEAs of Iowa. We provide consultation for districts regardless of what LMS you use. We also can help consult you on picking out the right LMS for your district. And we don't advocate necessarily one over the other. Each of the LMSs that we look at have good features to them. We just help find the best fit for your teachers. Today we're going to look at Schoology. And Schoology is an LMS that is a full LMS. So I'm going to compare it a lot to Canvas and Moodle, which are other full LMSs. It is also one where you can pay as a district to have a district instance of it. When you do so, this allows your institution to control the users that are on the system, as well as merge that information with your student information system or your Google Apps domain, whatever the case is. You don't need to have a purchased account to use it. There is a free option available for teachers. Unlike some of the other tools, there are a few features that are not available in that free version. So there is some things I'm not going to show you today because we're going to play around with the free version. There are some things that Schoology can do, a lot of data analysis that you'll need the paid version for. Alright, I'm at Schoology.com if I wanted to get started. I could just click on K-12 to find out more information. Actually, that'll bring up a web page here. It talks about that. But if I wanted to try it out, I should just go ahead and click the Get Started button up in the upper right hand corner. I'm going to ask for a free account as opposed to the enterprise account. And then I would click here to sign up as an instructor. You'll note that like the other full LMSs, Canvas and Moodle, you can have a student account. You can also have a parent account that's connected to a student account. Lets you go in and see that student's information and records. Alright, I already have an account, so I'm going to switch over to that account. And here I am. When I actually go to Schoology, you will see this first off. It's your home page, and it will, it's kind of a dashboard display. Canvas has something similar, Moodle has something similar. And so if I were a teacher, I could see all of the information for all of my courses here in one screen. If I were a student, same thing. I could see all the information as a student there. This display here is like those others. It's a wall type of display where it will go and give a feed of everything that's new as it's being posted here. And then it'll also over on the side have additional events and other items that are coming up to be placed over here. They also have an area up here for notifications. We'll take a look at that here later on. Actually, it's this one. As well as messages that students have sent to you. All right, now I want to go ahead and get going with a course. The courses that I have created would be listed here, and this is a dummy course that I had created a while ago. I'm going to make a new one. If I were a student, I would click on the join, and we'll take a look at that here later on. Go ahead and click create, and as part of our showdown, we are looking at, oh, I had that spelled right, a common class, and we're creating that in each of our learning management systems. Go ahead and type that in, select a subject area, and you can select a grade level as well. And it does not let you collect a grade span like Canvas does. So I'm just going to go ahead and pick 11th grade, and there's where you add the range. I want to make it 9 through 12. There, that's better. All right, click create. And this is what you'll see when you have your course. Like Canvas and Moodle, content will be here. They'll have some additional information such as the upcoming events that will be posted over here. And then it does have shortcuts to different items within the course. Some of these are available only for the teacher. And those will be listed over on the left side. What it considers the course, it calls materials, and those are added there. And this is where you will structure your course. All right, we're ready to go and start with our course. Our first item is to go and add a header for our unit. And Schoology does this a little differently. They don't really have headers, but they do have what they call folders. And this will take some getting used to. Again, it works a little differently than Moodle does. It looks a little different than Canvas does. I think that this is a little bit better than Canvas's version, personally, because it will display header information instead of having you to click over to another page. But it kind of functions a little differently. So we have a common course that we're creating, and I mentioned here is that text. So I've got a title that I want to put up here, and then for the description, I want to go ahead and paste this information in there. And you can see it formats pretty well. That's good. I also wanted to add an image into here. You notice you've got this editor for your text. We call this a WYSIWYG editor, which stands for what you see is what you get. And full learning management systems all have these. Some of the lighter LMSs don't. Within here, I can go in and add an image. And I'm going to go ahead and grab one from my computer. There's the image I want right there. I'll upload it. Now that I have it, I'm going to go ahead and align it to the right, and that automatically goes and moves it and puts the text in a text wrap around there. We also mentioned that since it's a WYSIWYG editor, we can, straight from within here, go ahead, click there, and then we can insert a link. So if I wanted to go to presentationzen.com, and insert that. Now I've made that a link. That's not a feature that you see in all learning management systems, so only in your full learning management systems you have that ability to do that. You can also go in and set whether this is visible or not. This isn't just a header, this is actually a folder, and you can put other information in there if you would like, so you can make this whole folder available or not. I'm going to go ahead and leave those blank and click Create. All right, next thing we're going to do, now that we have our header added, is we're going to embed a video. Now I'm going to show you this in a couple of parts. I'm going to show you what you can do here within a header, and then when we look at adding a page, I'm going to do this again, because you can actually do more with embeds in Schoology when you embed within a page. Within the header, you're pretty limited. You can't go and embed things within the folder description as placed here. So, but you can do this, and this often will work just as well. I'm going to go back in and edit it. I'm going to go down here, and where I'm placed my cursor, I'm going to go into Insert a Content, and over here I can insert content from YouTube or Vimeo or some other repositories. I'm going to go ahead and insert a YouTube video. Now the YouTube video that I wanted is right here. This is the embed code though for it, so I need to go and get the actual link for it. And that's going to take me, because that's the embed code is not the actual link, so I got to go look at it on YouTube and grab that link. And then I can just place it in here. When I do a search for it, it comes up. So I'm going to put that one in. And I'm going to import it as an embed. And voila, it'll appear down below. Now, one thing you have to be careful of, depending on the size of the video, that can affect the layout of your screen. We'll take a look at that. I'll click Save. Okay, so you see the video has now been placed in there, and it looks pretty good. However, one thing you need to watch out for is you can see how it has stretched the screen out, so it does go over here. That's not a major item. I could go back in and resize that video if I'd like, and I'll put it back within here. But for some teachers, they don't like the way that that looks. So you want to make sure that you're aware of that. Alright, so we have looked so far at adding a header as well as placing that video into that header. We're going to go ahead and now start to add content in here. And the first thing we're going to add is a link. And links are pretty easy to do. I showed you how to add a link within text within the WYSIWYG, but if we want to add in a separate link as content, I can go under the materials list, and then I can go in and add a file link external tool. Okay, file we'll look at later on. Link here, though, we click on this, it's going to ask us for that link. Here's a link to a lesson that I created in a different program. I'm going to go ahead and paste that in, and the lesson is called Presentations in One Person's Journey. Every time you add something into Schoology, they do have some advanced features in here. You can copy this to multiple courses, you can hide it or make it visible, and you can have it so in this case this link is embedded within the page, so it has like a page within a page, or you can have it so that it's not. And then you can also align to learning objectives. Just like other learning management systems, Schoology allows you to go and to connect to learning objectives. This is kind of neat because it does have already built within it learning objectives for the Common Core, Next Gen Science Standards, and other things as well, and you can customize your own. I'm going to skip that for now and click Add. And now that's added it here below. Now, here's the thing that you can debate on how you want to do with your course. I could leave it like it is. And this all displays kind of in one screen like a learning management system does. Or I could go and put the link as part of this item. I gotta be a little careful here. There we go. Put it into that folder. Okay, now if I do that, I'm creating a unit and I'm putting all the resources in. This unit then can be moved around as a whole, moved back and forth. I can go and turn the whole unit on or off by making the availability on or off. I can copy that whole unit as a whole, and I'll copy all the things below. Here's the one disadvantage to it. I'm going to go ahead and build it as one unit inside this folder. The problem is that when I expand this to see all of my information, all the resources disappear. That's just the way Schoology works. Schoology was not designed to make headers the way that other learning management systems do. And so if I close it, then I could see it. Now, like I said, a workaround would be to have that be on its own later down here, but I'm just going to go ahead and keep them all part of that unit up there. So that's how you go in and you add a link. All right, our next item is to add a page into Schoology. Now again, a reminder that we've got our unit head is here. I'm going to go ahead and minimize that so I can see the items within it. And now I'm going to go here and down to Add Page. Just to review, when we talk about learning management systems, a page is when you're looking at the main home screen of your course and you have a link that you click on, and it takes you to another page within Schoology. And you can go in and customize content for this however you'd like. Some teachers create their syllabus and put it on this page. Some teachers just create an instructional lesson, content, lots of different things here. So I've got a page created. You can see again, you've got your nice WYSIWYG editor. You have a few additions that you don't have as part of your folder header, and we'll show you those in a little bit. I'm going to go grab the content for my page, which I have down here, and I'm going to grab the title. This is from a presentation by a person named Alvin Trusty. I'm going to put in the text, and that looks good. Now, as part of this, I also have a video, and this is another embedded video. Now, we saw that beforehand we had to go and only insert that video as a link from either YouTube or Vimeo. On this page, though, you can actually go and switch it over to the HTML code and then paste in your embed code, just like that. So this is where people who want to embed something, say, from SlideShare or from VoiceThread or whatever site that they have an embed code from, maybe even your Google Doc that you want to put in there, you can do so on a page very easily. You just click there and you insert it in. Again, with the WYSIWYG editor, you can go in, you can make your text bold, you can change, you can put in an image, all the other things that you've had before. One thing that's kind of neat that only the full LMSs have is if you highlight an item and you come in here, you can put in what's called a tooltip, which will let you say where this, some additional information. And I can put in where Findlay University is located. In addition to that, again, you can go and change the pre-formatted text and your font, and then you can also do a spell check or put in tables as well. Click Create. And close this up. Again, you can see that that's been added there. If I put it into my folder, now I've got my things added in. Alright, so far we've looked at creating topic header and adding in a link and adding in a page. We've seen how we can embed videos within that page. Now we're going to add in a file. And this is a standard practice in learning management systems, being able to add in a file. Unfortunately, with this, you cannot go and do a drag and drop like you can with other learning management systems. So if I go to my desktop, I grab the file that I want and drag it in, it's not going to drop it in. It's actually just going to take me to that file, which is not what I want to do. Okay, so that's one disadvantage to Schoology compared to other ones. However, I can go in here and I can add in a file link or external tool. I'm going to add in a file this time, and I need to go and click the Attach Files and find my file. I'm going to add that in. Again, you have some advanced features. You can align it to learning objectives or make it visible or not. It is kind of a larger file. It's an ebook, so I'm going to go ahead and wait for that to finish up. And now I've got that added in. Again, I can go in and drag that. Try it again. Drag that to be a part of my course. I can rename it too. If you have seen my other LMS Showdowns, you know that that is not a naughty ebook. That is actually a way that you present PowerPoints. It's nothing to do with actually being naked. I swear. All right, and so there you see how you can go in and you can add in a file. You can add in any file type that you would like. Only if it's something like a PDF will it display within the computer. So if I click on it, for example, it will it'll take a little bit of time, but it will pull it up and display it here. Otherwise, it'll just ask you to go ahead and download that file. So if you uploaded like a Word document or what have you, it would do that there. This is a little too big, I see. So if I were to scale that back down, then I could go in and see it better. All right, now that we've added in our file, now we're going to look to see how we can add in a Google document. And this is going to be done a little differently than other LMSs. We're not going to go in and add in a file. This is the way we did before. We're actually going to go back down to add a page. And I have a Google document called class schedule. And when I go in here, instead of typing in my information, I'm going to insert from my Google Drive. Now, one thing about Schoology that I don't like quite as much is that you don't have the ability to search within here, and I have a ton of stuff within mine. Luckily, my item is pretty close to the top. Here's the one that I want, and I can click on it to show it to you. There it is. It's the course schedule. I'm going to go ahead and check that and then import that. I can import it as a link, as a private link, or I can just go ahead and embed that in. And that puts it in there. I'm going to go ahead and create my resource. And when I do so, I've got my class schedule. I can go ahead and place that in. We'll place that at the top. And when I click on it, that will be posted in there. Okay. Again, I can go in, I can edit that page, I can make that bigger if I would like. Save the changes. And I'll zoom in a little bit better. So that's how you go in. You can place things from your Google Drive folder quickly within that. It's kind of a nice integration that Schoology offers. All right, so far we've looked at the ways you add content into Schoology. Now we're ready to go and look at the ways you can add in interaction. So I'm going to go ahead and minimize that. Put that back into the unit. I'm going to go ahead and add in a class discussion. And this is what Schoology calls their forums. Go back to our course. Oh, try that again. You can see when you paste it in, the formatting stays pretty accurate. I'm going to go ahead and put in an image with that. That one there. And we'll put it to the right. Get that up to the top. I like it. Okay, with a forum, I have the ability to go in and set a due date if I would like. And then I can say whether it's graded or not. When I do so, it'll ask me which category I want to put it in. So I'm going to call this the introductory unit because that's what we're creating. Under grade options, you do have the ability to set a grading period, and you can set that as the midterm or the final if you'd like. I'm not going to worry about that right now. Under the scoring, you can go in and say whether it's just a point value, a grade value, or you can set a rubric to this. And just for the sake of doing so, let's go ahead and create a new rubric. And I'm going to create this, I'm going to call it a discussion rubric. And when I do so, I can add in the title of my criteria. Let's see here. We will have part of it be the argument. And I can better describe what I mean by that. You can see the different point values. If I add in categories, I can go in and adjust the points as needed. I can add in another criteria and call that mechanics. And I can take away items if I'd like. So you can have independent scoring for different criteria. It'll go and tabulate the number of points you have, and then you can go ahead and add that in. And then that will replace whatever you had for the points there before. Learning objectives will be marked there. I could have gone and selected learning objectives from different standard sets and used those if I'd like for my rubric. But I chose not to do so. Down here, again, when you do forums and learning management systems, these are pretty standard options. You can set it so that others can see others' responses before they post. In some cases, that's good. In other cases, you want your students to go ahead and post first before they see others. You can copy it to other classes. You can assign that to individual students. And as we've seen before, you can always add in objectives. Here, though, you can't because I've already assigned a rubric to it. I'm going to go ahead and create that. And then when I do so, you can see it's placed here. If I click on the forum, I can go ahead and put in my response. I have the WYSIWYG editor, which means I can put in links and other things. Can't put in an image within it there, but I can attach an image down below. It's kind of like making an email, if you will. Go ahead and post that. And then that will allow people to go and to respond to it, reply to that, or create their own post. All right. All right, our next item is to add an assignment. Go back under the materials, click here to add an assignment. Same process as before. I'm going to go into, where's our assignment? Here it is. Grab the title for the assignment and then grab the text for it. Again, I can set my due date for the assignment, set out how many points it's worth. I can put it into its grading category, and I can select an existing rubric, I can create my own, or I could just leave it numeric. I'll just leave that one numeric. Here I can set whether I'll allow submissions or not, and I can also select whether I want my statistics to be enabled or not, and whether I want to have comments or not. We'll go ahead and create that. And you can see the assignment. Click on that. People can write their answers if they would like. All right, our next item we're going to add in is a quiz. Go in here. I've got my quiz information listed below, basics of this course quiz. All right, it doesn't let me go in and put a description for the quiz, unlike Moodle or Canvas. I can again put in a due date and put in my points that I would like, again where I wanted this to be, and if I want to be points or just a specific grade level. I'm going to go ahead and create the quiz. Once I've done so, I can go back in here under settings and type in my instructions. And I'm going to place that in there. I can make it whether it's visible or not. And I can go in and adjust other settings as far as whether you can review it or what have you. When I go in under the questions, click here to add a question. You can see the different types. They have 6 different types of questions. This is a little bit less than Canvas, a lot less than Moodle. So in terms of the trade-off between simplicity and functionality, Schoology is a little less functional than Canvas, but does kind of come across as more simple and easy to use as Canvas. If I click on, for example, true-false, I do have a true-false question in my quiz. It is right here. Type that in. I can change the answer for true or false. I can say yes or no, or whatever the case is, and I can change what the correct answer is. If it is a subjective question, that means the computer won't grade it. We'll go ahead now and add in a multiple choice question. And we do have one of those as well. And my choices, I'll go ahead and speed through these. Alright, I've added in my responses. I'll go ahead and say what the correct answer is. I can also give feedback specific to the individual choice. So I can say, I think I got this one right. But if not, and put that in. I could put in more blanks or take away blanks if I remove those. I can also provide general feedback for the correct answer. You can allow for partial credit, so they do allow you some additional choices on here. Alright, our other question type was a multiple answer, and you can see that's not one of the options that you have available here. So it's not as sophisticated of a quiz tool as other ones do. The basic ones, though, again, true, false, multiple choice, and matching. They do offer an ordering option, which is a little bit more an advanced choice. And then you have the short answer essay question, which would require a human grader as well as the fill in the blank. So you've got that done. go ahead and go back to your home page. All right, we are ready to have a student enter the course. Just like we did in Google Classroom, at Modo, Canvas, there is a access code that that Schoology provides. If I copy that, I'm going to go over to my student account. So here is a student account that I have created. I happen to be in a different course, and you can see as a student, you can see different things that show up from all my courses, what are upcoming, what I have already missed. If I go under courses and I click join, it will ask me for that access code, which I can type in, and that will get me within the course. So here I am. You can see over here it will list what is upcoming. Here's one of those issues of the overlap. I might want to resize that video so it doesn't do that. Okay, and then I can go back in here and click on the individual items. And I can pull up those items up here if I'd like and click on those. If I go into the forum, for example, we had it set up so that you couldn't see other people's answers until you posted. And I can put that in there. If I go back to the course and click on the assignment that I created, here I can post in a comment if I want to type that in. Otherwise, I'm just going to go ahead and click here to submit my assignment. And I'm going to go ahead and grab a file. Again, I can add an additional comment. Well, the commenting feature is kind of nice. One of the things that Schoology doesn't allow you to do is have an open text assignment where you type that in. However, they do let you go and create it here, so I could type in my text answer this way, or I could click on my resources. This is kind of like the backpack in Modo or the locker within Moodle, where you can go and upload your own files, and then you can select those from there. I go back here, and I'm going to submit that. And that's been turned in. Now if I go back here to the home page, go to the quiz. Oh, I have not made it available. I need to do that. So I'm going to go in here. That's interesting. It looks like it's available. Yeah, I didn't save this. That's fine. All right, now if I refresh, there we go, be in that quiz. Go ahead and submit my responses. All right, so I've submitted my responses and I go back there. So that's a quick overview of what it looks like for the student to go in and to participate. All right, let's take a look at the teacher's side of this. Mentioned that students have submitted that. You can see the one there shows what's been submitted. And I can go in and I can reply to that post. If I would like, other students can as well. I can go in then and also grade for that post. So I can add in the students has a rubric. So I can say they did those. Say that and add in a comment if I'd like. Put that in there. For the assignments, if I go in, it'll prompt me for needs grading. It'll also prompt me up here, by the way. I didn't mention this. This is the notifications when things have been submitted or entered. So if I click on it, we'll go ahead and show the file. It does allow you the same features as those others where you can go in and add sticky note comments or highlight it. And draw out different things here. And again, I can go ahead and put in the score. I didn't have a rubric with this one, so it's only going to ask me for the score there. And finally, if we go into the quiz, it'll show me what that student got right with the quiz. I can view that attempt if I would like. Even edit it. I can unsubmit it if I want them to take it again. I can also look at the stats for this. And here, this is the overall grade for that quiz. If I have all those grades placed in there, and I can see the overall distribution. I can also do that by question. And look at the stats that way as well. Alright, so now that I've gone in and I've graded those assignments, I can check the grade book. Now, the Learning Management System grading book here is a little sophisticated. I'm just going to show you some of the basics for it. If you want to see all the things you can do, we encourage you to go and check out tutorials, whether you go to Schoology's website or if you go to Anatomic Learning and take a look at all that you can do with the gradebook. If I click on gradebook, again, because of how I set this up, I don't have them displayed in here because I didn't set up a grading period. Or if I click on this item right here, it's going to bring up those scores and show those to me overall as well as the percentage. Again, I didn't set up the course grading unit, so that doesn't place it there. Alright, so now we're ready to go and take a look at how you can communicate to other students. Within my course, if I click on Members, I have my list of all the individuals in the class. I click on here. This is going to bring up information about that individual. I can click here to message that person. And this is an internal messaging system. You can add in files or links, whatever the case is. Send that. And then that student will get a notification up here when they receive a new message from me. And I can go ahead and message back that person. That so it does come up there. There we go. And again, that's an internal messaging system to go in to send information to people. You can also use email. They'll have email connected to accounts. Plus, there is that commenting feature where when we saw, let me go back to our course, all the different resources that you've added in there, you can go in and add comments back and forth with each other in there as well. All right. Our last section I want to look at is some of the extra features. Schoology does have, oh, I clicked on the wrong course there, sorry about that. Schoology does have a lot of extra features that you can put in. I mentioned already the learning outcomes. I think that's probably one of its strongest additional features that you can offer. It, like Moodle and Canvas, has the rubric feature, and like Moodle, Canvas, and Edmodo, has a badging feature. If I click on badges, you have the ability to go and to award badges to students if you'd like. So I can click on a student. And I can say, hey, you are a good listener. and give that to that student. Obviously, you can add in many badges. It's kind of like a little grade book, and then I'll offer that to that student. And if I click on that student's information, those badges will appear over there. You also have the ability to go and create your own badges if you would like. You can do so up here, and then you can import them from resources. Speaking of which, resources is an area where you can go and grab extra content. This is kind of like those repositories in Moodle and the Canvas Commons in Canvas. I have my own personal resource, but if I go under Public, I can find other things that people have added within Schoology that they want to share. So let's say I was looking for a PowerPoint, and let's say that says Power of the President. Let's say this was one that I wanted to add. I can click here. That'll add it to my own personal account. And when I do that, I didn't add it to there. Let's try that again. There we go. Clicked, added it to my own resources. Now if I go into that personal resources, it's under the download category. There it is. That's why it wasn't showing up earlier. Okay, so now I can go back into my course, and if I wanted to add in a resource, I can do so. Go into that downloads area and then pick the one that I wanted and import that. So it's a way of gathering content that others people have created and shared publicly. In addition, it does have the events item over here. You can add in events if you'd like and schedule those. That makes it a pretty good accompaniment for a blended learning course. You can give items that you're going to have in your regular classroom. And then you can also make it so that individuals have to RSVP to say whether they would be part of that or not. And you also have a calendar that is part of this, and it'll show the items within the course that are coming up, as well as any other events that you have set manually. And finally, like other learning management systems, you can go in, other full learning management systems I should say, you can go in and find groups, public groups, that are other Schoology courses that other people have created. These would be things that are open, like an open course, an open club, an open group for you to join. You can do that, and you can search for them and join them. It's a great way of kind of exploring and learning on your own. And that's a look at Schoology. Again, we at AEA PD Online provide you consultation and support in understanding how to select and how to implement a learning management system. We don't support one over the other. We help to support all of them equally and find the best fit for you. One of the things we do is we provide professional development in conjunction with vendors like Schoology to help your teachers. If you have questions, feel free to contact us at support@aeapdonline.org for more information.